Okay, so I'm going to tear out all this drywall here because they're going to be putting some extra plugs in, and this has had tile on it. It has had that fake brick on it, so it looks good, but it's not in very good condition underneath. So I'm going to tear it out, and then the electrician is going to come in, put in some new plugs, and then I'm going to come back and new drywall and tile it with the glass mosaic tile. So that's what I'm going to do now. What I'm using here is just an oscillating tool. It's like the fine tools that you see, but now there's plenty of different brands that you can buy. This one is a pretty good one that I'm using here. And what I'm doing actually is I'm just cutting through the sheetrock a little bit, and I'm trying not to go poke too far through because I don't know what is behind the sheetrock. So I'm just going to cut out a little bit so I can see what's behind, and then I'll just cut the whole thing out afterwards. But I just like to be cautious at the beginning and cut out a little bit just to get an idea of what I'm dealing with. You never know what you're going to find behind the drywall, so you just want to be careful. Most of the time they're just empty. There's nothing behind it, but sometimes you can find wires or whatever. I mean, you never know what you're going to find, so you just want to be careful when you're cutting through stuff like this, that you don't accidentally cut something that you didn't want to cut. And you want to be careful not to scratch anything. I don't have anything covering these countertops because they're granite and they're really tough, and I'm actually being very careful not to lean my blade on the granite or on the cabinetry. But if you I've got a lot of practice doing this stuff, so it's easy for me. But if this were like marble or something softer that would be easily marred, I would most definitely cover it and make sure that I don't damage it. But when it's granite, it's granite is very tough, so you don't have to be quite as worried about it. I got that wall off. I'm just going to pull all these old nails out. And then I'm going to move along to this wall here. Okay, so that's all off, and the electrician's gonna add some boxes and whatever, switches, and then once he's done, I'm gonna come back. There's no insulation over here. That's an outside wall, so probably put some insulation in over here and a little bit over there. And so once the electrician's done, I'll come back and put up the wallboard and the tile. This is actually 3/4 of an inch thick here. There's a layer of 1/2 inch and a layer of 3/8. So I'll probably figure it out. I'll figure it out. The electrician came and he did what he had to do. Ran some wires, added a box over here, and fixed whatever he needed to do. Now it's my turn to finish it up. Where the two sheetrocks need to meet, the new and the old, I added a piece of stud, which is just sisted onto the old stud, and then here where it has to meet the old sheetrock below, I added a piece of strapping, and over here I also added a strapping. This will give me nice firm connections to the old sheetrock. Because what was originally on there was 7/8. There was a layer of 1/2 inch, and then there was a layer of 3/8. I am going to put back the same thing so that I meet the existing drywall at the end of the cabinets. You could fur it out if you wanted to, but I'm just going to put 2 layers of sheetrock. First the 3/8, which doesn't have to. You don't have to be fussy about. You just want to get it on there, and then a layer of 1/2 inch on top. Like I said, if you want, you can just fur out everything by 3/8, and then when you put your 1/2 inch on top, it'll be flush with the rest of the walls. But this way, because I'm just doing it this way because it makes the wall a little stronger, the sheetrock a little stronger, and it'll bring me back to exactly what I need to be. Where this see the stud that's over here, this little piece of stud is sticking out a little further than the rest of the wall, so I am just going to shim that. I'm just going to cut it back a little bit so that it's even with the rest of the wall and I don't get a bow in the wall. It's best to do whatever prep work you need to do so that you have a nice flat wall. And then I'll install the sheetrock. And you can use just regular sheetrock because this is not a wet area, so there's really no water in this area here, so it doesn't have to be Durock. You can put Durock if you want, but that's going to make your life harder. So you really don't need it because it's not a wet area, so it'll be fine. The sheetrock will be fine. Put 3/8 over here, over here, over here, and then put 1/2 inch on top. Okay, because it was 7/8 inch stick, I'm putting a layer of 3/8 inch, and then I'll put a layer of 1/2 inch on top of that to bring it back to this level here, because this all has to be on the same plane. So like I said, I put some strapping over there and some strapping over here. Now I'm going to cut the rest of this 3/8 inch in, and you don't have to be really fussy with the 3/8 inch because there's going to be another 1/2 inch on top. But that's what I'm doing now. Okay, so I cut this piece out here because I don't know if you can see that. That pipe would be interfering with it and bulge it out, so I cut that out. And then when I put the 1/2 inch on top, it'll sit nice and flat. Okay, so that's all the 3/8. So now that I got the 3/8 inch on, I'm going to put the 1/2 inch on. Now the 1/2 inch has to be perfect. Well, not perfect, but as close as you can to it, because the tile, I'm going to be installing glass tile on here, and it's a mosaic glass tile, but it's larger mosaic. It's on sheets, but it's a little bit larger than your typical, so it's a little more forgiving than a mosaic tile. But if this had been a small mosaic tile, you want to make sure that you put the drywall in perfect, leave no voids, and have it as flat as possible. And it's always a good idea to do that anyway, but yeah, especially when you're working with mosaic tiles, because it's very unforgiving as far as voids or problems with the sheetrock. All the 1/2 inches on, and now I'm going to put some alkali resistant fiberglass tape, and then I'm going to feather any other edges that need to be feathered with some thinset. You can use joint compound if you want, but because I'm a tile setter, I use thinset when I'm doing this. So this is so because where the two joints meet for sheetrock, they're usually there's like a recess in it, so you want to make sure you flatten that out. And anywhere else that there's going to be an undulation in the tile or on the wall. And I use alkali resistant tape because that's what you need to use with thinset. Okay, so the drywall's up, the joints are mudded. Tomorrow we'll put the glass tile up.